do my first cardio session early today because it's a non-training day, so I can get in here early, get the cardio done early, and I want to try to get most of it fasted today. I like that on an off day like this. I like to get in and just hammer it fasted. And the reason is metabolic rate is probably still very, very high from training legs yesterday. All right, we had a great leg session, especially all that quad and calf work. So get in fasted, and then I can carb up heavy in the afternoon, which will produce a good bench press and upper body workout tomorrow. Because I do need my upper body to grow. I need my shoulders. I need my delts. I need my triceps and stuff to continue to grow in spite of me doing this bit of cutting. A quick reminder though, if you guys will click like as soon as you get in, comment down under here. We've got good connection today. I had to update, so all those connection issues, I deleted those couple of streams. Those connection issues seem to be related to my phone needing an update. I guess an update had come through the day before. I didn't install it. So I had kept dropping all my streams. We seem to be good now though. So this one I've already done over 15 minutes, I think. So in Facebook, but I'm gonna get in here for the rest of it. I'd ideally like to get this one. It's nice weather, it's not warm yet, a little overcast. As long as it doesn't rain on me, I might be able to push this one out for a full hour. There's no real sun to mess up the light, so I should be able to read stuff. So if we get people in here and comments, I should be able to push this one out pretty far, especially in this lighting, if nothing bright to interfere. So I have a great clear screen, should be able to see everyone's comments. There's more you rolling in, hit that like button, guys. So this may be a very, very long live. Like, I need 45 minutes, I think, in here to hit the hour total because of the Facebook first. But we could probably get a pretty good one in that time. You know, again, I get it, it's early for some people. A lot of people are on their way to work. People doing different stuff. All right, all my overseas guys, it's midday for them. But we'll just see what happens. This might not be the best slot, but it's a great time for me. All right, Benjamin is choosing between leg extensions, leg presses, a secondary quad exercise. Which would you choose? How much squatting did you do and how often are you doing it? If you just need a quad finisher and you've done a lot of squatting, I mean, the leg extension makes sense. If you didn't do that much squatting, the leg press makes a lot more sense. I mean, realistically, Benjamin, also, you have to ask, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Keeping in mind, the leg press and leg extension do not work the heads of the quads to the same percentages evenly as each other. I could make the case that if someone is really chasing leg aesthetics instead of sheer mass, a leg extension might not be something you really want to do very often. For how long are you training? I don't understand your question, Ali. I've been lifting and all this stuff over 25 years. I started off as a really, really morbidly obese fat guy over 300 pounds and started running to lose weight. And then I got really serious into lifting. But Benjamin, my normal answer would be leg press, but we need context and nuance. Hi, and love from India. Hello. Yeah, this time of day, I expect I'll probably get more people in Europe and Asia. Definitely not getting my West Coast people, my big California-ish area population of followers. They're not going to be in here. It's 5 a.m. for them right now. So, can I ask you something you just did? Would you like to ask me something else? That's something someone taught me is when I was in high school. I had a auto mechanics teacher who used to do that, and that's always been my response. They're like, hey, can I ask you a question? I'm like, you just did. And they're like, can I ask you another question? I had somebody, I'm like, you just did again. All right. What's your opinion on Zercher squats? They're complete stupid garbage, unless you're a wrestler. Unless you're using them for sport-specific purpose for wrestling, why would you do a Zercher squat? It's horrible for hypertrophy compared to any other type of squat. But if you're a wrestler or a grappler, they make sense. It's a sport-specific exercise. It is not a great muscle builder. Do you think those who allowed themselves to become obese or mentally weak are the victims of circumstance? I think it's almost always trauma, untreated mental illness is usually high of the list. I mean, in my case, it was absolutely trauma from my childhood and my response to the way I was conditioned to respond to being repeatedly molested. Which was, you can eat as much ice cream as you want until you stop crying. Not the best approach for lifelong programming for a 4 and 5-year-old child. That's how you end up 320 pounds like I did. So trauma is a big factor. Food environment's a big factor. But at a certain point, when a person reaches adulthood, they can take control of that. In other words, an 18-year-old or 19-year-old may not have the mental faculties yet. They do not have an adult brain. Your brain has not reached adulthood at that age. All of your cognition and reasoning centers have not reached full maturity. So in that context, maybe they are still victims of circumstance at that age. You start getting to about 21, 22, 23, it is now entirely your choice to be fat or not with your lifestyle choices. About to go train clients. Awesome, Chad. I am 18. Can my height grow taller? A small amount, but very, very, very little. Hypothetically, you might get a little more if you were to go use a large amount of growth hormone or something before your esophageal plate seal. But that's going to come with side effects and it's going to cost money. Food becomes a coping mechanism. Age of Shingo. Food becomes a coping mechanism. Very true. Absolutely. And especially in our cultural environment. Think about that in the context of our society. So we have endless amounts of junk food, right, here in the West. And our society teaches us what? You reward great things like a success with a treat. You earned it. We're taught that from childhood up. You get a pizza party, you get ice cream, you get a dessert as a reward for a success. We're also taught to eat comfort foods to soothe when we're upset or for trauma. We also build all of our celebrations around gluttony and eating a bunch of junk food. So you take that cultural environment and you put us in an environment where everything we eat is loaded full of extra fats and sugars. And it's sold as food, which is not really food, it's garbage. So yeah, it's not just a coping mechanism. It can be a coping mechanism for trauma, particularly if you've been taught to do so. But then you take our whole food environment. But again, people have to make conscious choices. Because everyone's structure is different, do you believe there is not one size fits all approach for squatting technique? I don't think anyone disagrees with that, Benjamin. Benjamin, I'm not aware of anyone disagreeing with your point. To my knowledge, I don't know any coaches who think that squatting is a one-size-fits-all. Maybe a new coach who's only been doing it 3 or 4 years. No experienced coach teaches that. Why do people struggle to lose body fat in a calorie deficit while not sticking to training cardio? What do you mean? No one struggles to lose body fat in a calorie deficit. It's not possible. They're not in a calorie deficit. Do you mean they're struggling to stick to a calorie deficit? It is biologically impossible for you to be in a calorie deficit and not lose body fat. You cannot do it. So what you mean is, why are they struggling to hit a deficit? Well, because they're not following an appropriate meal plan. They're not following an appropriate diet style to handle their satiety in their lifestyle. So they're not reaching a calorie deficit for the week. Hey, age of Shango, what do you mean they're probably not in? No. Probably is not the word. The correct word is you could literally bet your life and the life of your firstborn child on it, that they're not. You can say it for absolute certainty beyond any shadow of a doubt. Not even subject to debate. Why are leg extensions possibly bad for aesthetics? Because they work the rectus femoris much harder than the other three heads. So squatting and leg presses tend to understimulate the rectus femoris to hit the VMO and all of that, the other three heads, okay? Because of the position and the biarticulated movement of the quad, because you have the hip movement happening and hip extension at the same time, it is taking stress off the rectus femoris. Rectus femoris is an ugly ass head of the muscle. It's the one up here at the very top. That triangle shaped one up near your hip, that's one of your four quad heads. Leg extensions train it really well. Squats and leg presses understimulate that while putting all the focus on the other three heads. Now, if you want to be a massive bodybuilder, you need to develop that. It's not going to give you the best shaped leg though, quad. So that would be my only point, and it's a minor point, I get it. Should we take advice seriously from science-based influencers who are only in their early 20s? I wouldn't. Why would you take training advice from anybody in their early 20s? You're like, well, because they trained under Louis Simmons from age 11. Okay, I'll buy that. At age 11, they spent 2 years at Westside Barbell from 11 to 13, learning all this coaching knowledge, and they immersed themselves in strength and coaching culture since they were 11, and they're in their early 20s. All right, they might be a viable source of information. They started working out at 16 and they're 22. Ignore everything they say about lifting. They cannot possibly know shit. Not even possible, unless they are just repeating stuff experienced coaches say. They don't fully understand it. They don't have the experience coaching enough people at that point to really give good information. And they're just science-based, so no. Their science is probably a bit trend if they look good. Yeah, they're most likely snacking and not counting the calories. Well, there's a whole lot of different things that contribute, but they're not in a deficit. Where am I? I live in Spring, Texas, which is just north of Houston. I thought this was common knowledge. He's like, no, I need your exact pinpoint location. So you will not reply. I just replied to you, Crunch. Takes me a minute to get down the row, home skillet. You need to not be so needy. All right, don't be so needy. It takes time to get down the row. You didn't reply to me. You're answering the other people above me first. Oh man, I can already tell you're a weak motherfucker in the gym. No offense, but damn. We need to toughen you up a little bit, son. Get you under a heavy barbell. That'll do you some good. Also, hit that like button, guys. I'm rolling along here. We're 14 minutes in. We only have 4 likes. There's like 7 people asking questions. Hit that like button for Daddy. Come on now. There you go. Hit that like button. Give me some likes. Crunch, and you should expect that sort of response when you do that. You ask a question and you see I'm literally going down the road reading them. You didn't answer me. You will not reply. Like, dude, you need to pin some testosterone or something. I just can't. He's probably gonna get all upset now. Just saying, but your behavior, you should expect that sort of response. You just walked into a live stream from a hard ass 48-year-old powerlifting coach. All right. Just a quick update to that surgery. What are you talking about? What? Sideways What are you talking about? I can barely do 8 push-ups. Well, why are you... Go get under a barbell. Crunch. All right, there's a 20-year-old personal trainer at my gym who has clients, and he told me powerlifting is extremely dangerous and whey protein is a bad source of protein. Jesus Christ. You know what I would tell him? You know what's dangerous? Hiring a 20-year-old personal trainer to teach you how to lift. That's dangerous. Children. He is a child with no experience. What is he doing? Whey protein. Has he not looked at the bioavailability on it? I mean, really the only bad thing you can say about whey, well, there's a little bit of saturated fat there. That's like all you have. And that's really not that big of a deal. I don't do push-ups, Crunch. I'll teach you how to bench press. I don't do push-ups. What are you talking about? I do weighted dips. I do bench press. We don't do push-ups around here. Bro, this is a strength channel. We get you cock diesel strong and jacked as fuck. That's what we do here. Where you think you at? I don't even know how to do a push-up now. I think I haven't done a push-up in so many years. All right, coach has to do 100 push-ups to feel anything, right? Dips are not push-ups. Jason, do you miss the piss lord? No. I blocked him. What are you talking about? I had to block him on the phone. Calling me at 2 a.m. begging me for money. All right. Okay. I'll help you, Crunch. You're a beginner. Okay, Crunch. Okay, you're a beginner, so get in the weight room. A beginner means you're at day 1 in the gym. Get you under a squat bar, get you under a bench press bar, right? Let's get all of it done. Come on. Will getting big legs slow you down? No, it will speed you up. Hey, Benjamin, why do most world-class sprinters at the Olympics squat at least 500 pounds? So doing those 500-pound barbell squats made them slower. Why do so many NFL players squat 500, 600, 700 pounds and have amazing 40-yard times? Because big legs must slow you down, right? Think how much faster they'd be if they just quit lifting weights. Man, somebody needs to tell them. Somebody needs to tell all these world-class sprinters that they would all be faster if they stopped doing back squats. Because they all do it. All of them. Calling you at 2 and begging for money. Yeah. Dude, no, I'm AP, I'm not even kidding. I'm literally not trolling you. And he needed it to buy steroids. And he's like, I need you to mail it to me in cash because my mom won't let me have any money. And she has, so I'm like, dude, I hung up on him several times. He kept doing it. And I finally told him, dude, I'm done with this. I'm blocking you. He literally told me that if I didn't give him $50, he was going to die of a heart attack because he couldn't get his testosterone. It's like, come on, dude. I get it, he's mentally handicapped, but I don't need that crap. All right. I'm more focused on calisthenics. Crunch, why? Why are you focused on calisthenics? Why don't you lift some weights? Weighted calisthenics are a great supplement to your lifting. I do tons of them. I do tons of weighted pull-ups. I do weighted dips. I do all that stuff. But those are my secondary exercises. Why are you doing calisthenics? Dolly, looking goods are, Dolly, no offense. I strongly suspect you're a man from India based upon your typing style and your grammar. If I were to just bet money on it right now, I would bet $1,000 that you are a male and you live in the country of India. your typing style is representative of that. Because I don't want to wear oversized clothes. Well, crunch. Don't bulk. What are you talking about? You can stay lean. Dude, do you know how many years it takes to get big? It's not a concern. Keep your steroid doses really low. Don't eat 5,000 calories a day, and you'll be fine. All right. Is a 225 overhead press or 315 bench harder for adult men? I've answered this one 20 times in the streams. The reason the bench is more common is 50 times more people care about their bench than they do their overhead press. We have more programming built around it. More people train it hard. Therefore, a 315 bench is dramatically more common than a 225 strict press. Objectively, from a difficulty training perspective, if you were to put equal time and energy into both exercises, they're fairly even. Ruziel said, hi, what's up? What do you think about Zep Bound? I don't know what Zep Bound is. And I have a pretty extensive PED knowledge. I don't know what Zep Bound is. In your opinion, which animal is scarier, crocodiles or sharks? How big? I need scale here. I haven't been out in the Gulf in over 20 years. I haven't seen a shark in a really long time. I'm probably more likely to encounter alligators than either of the other two personally. I don't know. But I think it's going to be size dependent. I mean, you're talking about a tiny crocodile versus a great white. This is an easy one. Or you're talking about a little nurse shark versus, a 15-foot crocodile. Okay, I think we need size and context for this. 100 humans or one gorilla. 100 humans wins hands down. This is no argument. I have whole debates on my Facebook about this. Anyone who thinks there is any possibility that the 100 humans is losing lacks critical thought, and they really and truly are an ignoramus. Even timid men, when they're put in groups, they follow the leadership. We're an apex predator who is known for its extreme ability, particularly the males of our species, to instantly work as a team in emergency situations. All right, who would win? 2 Greg Doucetts or 1 Genova? 2 Greg Doucetts. 100 bald men versus 1 Chihuahua. I think this is an easy one too. Hey, Jason, answer 100 barefist adult male versus, no, the silverback loses. Silverback loses. Not even close. I'm not saying he's not going to do some damage first. This is not even remotely close. I don't think you guys realize how low their stamina is. They're a burst speed species. He can't fight for 30 seconds. He can't fight for a minute. He's going to just get overwhelmed and worn down. And I'm not saying gorillas don't deadlift 1,500 to 2,000 pounds potentially. Average silverback male is 430 pounds. Could potentially deadlift 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. We're not denying he's not going to do some damage in the first few seconds. Talking 100 men, they're going to work as a team on him. It's over. All right, I'm starting with push-ups. I want to increase massive strength with the least growth. Hey, Crunch, it doesn't work that way. What you just said is you want to shit in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up faster. So you want to gain strength without significant myofibrillar hypertrophy. Man, that is wishful thinking. That's some delusional ass wishful thinking there. As a strength coach, I'm literally laughing. What's the best way to get strong, guys? All my followers, tell the man, what is the main key in the long term to strength gain? What is the answer? I preach this like it's the Bible. Dibs work the abs at all? Maybe to some extent, but not really. All right. People literally reason gorillas are 10 times stronger than us unless we smell able to bench you. Yeah, exactly. And no, they don't bench 3,000 pounds. I've never heard any expert suggest a gorilla could bench 3,000 pounds. It's more like 1,000. My doctor right about my testosterone being okay, 157 nanograms per deciliter, 26. Get a new doctor. Rosie, I could find you a doctor today who will prescribe you testosterone today if you walked in his clinic with that number. I could find you in the Houston area 100 doctors right now who would prescribe you testosterone today, no ifs, ands, or buts with that number. Immediately, same day. They'll be like, oh gosh, no. You need a new doctor. Jason, best tool, variation for slow off the floor deadlift. Big press squats. Adjust your stance, lose some fat. You got a fat belly, maybe? If your belly's too fat, that explains it. Lose some fat so you can bring the stance in. That'll give you more speed off the floor. Failing that, get bigger quads. Because he is from Cincinnati. What? Yeah. I don't know where he's from, but that's very troubling that his doctor's telling me, get those likes up, guys. Why do we only have 9 likes? I feel like you guys don't love me. And when Coach feels unloved, he gets grumpy. Hit that like button. Do you think Arnold had good genetics for bodybuilding? He had great genetics for bodybuilding. Arnold had top tier genetics. He didn't have the same drugs they have today. Literally the only difference is the drugs. That's it. Crunch is answering my question. Dude, I'm not answering more questions about push-ups. Or trying to stay small and get strong. Dude, you're delusional. Do you think that you're gonna stay small and get really strong? Unless you are an extreme freak 1 in 10 million genetic outlier, which you would already know real fast if you were, there is no chance of that happening. You are more likely to have a foursome with your 3 favorite porn stars, statistically, than for which your goal is to happen. You are more likely to win $10 million at the lottery than you are to achieve your goal. So I don't know what you want from me. Thoughts on Dorian Yates saying that the reps per nerve concept is a bunch of bollocks. Keep in mind Dorian's training philosophy. No, I disagree. 1 rep in reserve produces maximum hypertrophy in most situations. Now, we start talking 2, 3, 4 reps in reserve, I'm gonna agree with him. You're gonna have to spend a lot more time in the gym to get optimal muscle growth. You get to 1 rep in reserve, 0 reps in reserve, you're at 100% muscle growth. For that set with 3 caveats. Number 1, you're a ranked novice. Number 2, you've detrained dramatically and you have old muscle memory. Number 3, you just upped your dose of steroids and other anabolic drugs. In which case, some of those intensity techniques may work. For everyone else, the extended sets he talks about or the intensity techniques don't cause muscle growth. We know that based upon how muscle fiber recruitment works relative to muscle growth in the lab in humans. And advanced lifters, you're not going to get any bigger from it unless you just started a new cycle of steroids. Okay, said with all due respect. Keeping in mind though, Dorian obviously trained super hard and Dorian obviously used lots of drugs. So, of course some of that worked for him. Jason Ridge Park and today delusional standard. What do you mean, Carol? What are you asking me? Where are we going with that? Also, get those likes up, guys. But I think people need to remember that with the Dorian Yates stuff. With his extended sets and things, you need to have a context for when that causes growth stimulus or not. Hey, Carol, please, I'm gonna say this politely. Please word your question differently. I do not understand what it is that you're asking me. We're having a communication issue. So restart your whole question over with the assumption that I had no idea what you asked me the first time. Do you think building big arms is kind of pointless? No. So I'm starting my strength training from tomorrow. Okay, good. So you're getting under a barbell. Because just doing some push-ups is not strength training. So what are you doing tomorrow? You're going to do the back squat, the bench press, and the barbell row, right? That's what you're doing tomorrow at the gym. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that, Crunch. That's a good start. Start with the barbell work. Right? And then the next day, you're going to do what? You're going to do some squats, some deadlift, some bench press, maybe some barbell curls. How's that sound? You mean your spine pain? All right. Hey, Crunch, there's no way I can help you where you are. I would need to coach you full time to give you any advice of what you're describing. I can't help you in here. Because I can't tell you how to build and strengthen your lumbar spine and all the things you need in a live stream. We're over to consultation. I charge $100 an hour. Hit me up on Facebook. I will be happy to help you. My Facebook link is under every video. We can set up a consultation. They're $100. Or I can take you to full-time coaching at $250 a month. Coach, I've had to keep my new clients on box squats for quite a while because their squat form is so atrocious. That happens. Hey, Chad, that happens. And definitely a complete uncoordinated, untrained lifter. Sometimes the box work, even a box work with dumbbells, if they're not ready for the barbell, they're not strong enough to squat the empty barbell for 5 on the box. Yeah, it's warranted sometimes. Hulkcast says, hey, Jason. What's up? What's up, Hulk? All right. Man, I was hoping I could run this out longer, but I'm gonna have to pee. This is gonna be a problem. I don't know what we're gonna do about this. So, this is problematic. I mean, I've done, I think, about 50 minutes. Hey, Jason, you're a legend. Appreciate it, man. I'm a legend in my own mind. So I'm going to have to get back at the house. Man, I really wanted to hit the hour, but I don't know if I can hold my piss that long. This is the problem of drinking a whole pot of coffee and then going for a fasted walk in the morning. My aim is to do 50 push-ups in a stretch. Okay, but when you're getting under a barbell, she wanted to get strong. Do some squat bench, some deadlift, weighted pull-ups, some rows. All right, that's how you get strong. Coach, IFBB legend Chris Cormier said he is anti-bench press and no one ever benched due to pec. Well, he sounds like a dumbass. Maybe because he doesn't know how to bench and he used really stupid drug stacks in his prep, he tore his pec bench pressing. Maybe back off the Tren and Winstrel a little bit, home skillet. Maybe learn how to stack your wrists. That's the problem. You know, you have these guys who are pro bodybuilders, these great genetics, they get on tons of gear, and then they make silly statements like that. They just need to stop. Right? They just need to stop. Pec tear risk. Well, yeah, it's all the Tren and Winstrel. It's crashing his E2. It's using bad form. It's not the bench press that's the problem. Jason, what's your idle dream physique? I don't know. What's going on? I guess Frank Zane. Somewhere between Frank Zane to Reg Park, along that spectrum. you know, if I've got to pick. All right, and clearly you're wanting me to pick. All right, guys, I don't think I'm going to make the hour. So I'm heading back to my house, holding my pee. If I was in the park area, this wouldn't be a problem. But I'm out here in the open streets. It would be highly inappropriate. You know? So, unfortunately, my cardio got limited by my bladder. So, I'm gonna get inside. I really can't do another one too quick. I gotta get this phone on a charger. Although it wouldn't need that much. It didn't reach 50% or anything. Dean City, what's up? Dean, you caught me on my way back to my house, man. I gotta go to the bathroom. So, unfortunately, this walk is gonna be short. It's gonna be 50 minutes instead of the hour I wanted. Love take BS on pro opinions. I mean, some pros really do have a great training knowledge. So I want to be clear, right? There are pro bodybuilders who have phenomenal training knowledge. But when they say ignorant ass statements like, bench press is a risk of a pec tear, really, because heavy dumbbell presses isn't going to have a higher risk of a pec tear? Are you serious? All right, thanks for frequent content, Carol. You're welcome. You are welcome. So, about to have to get inside, get some stuff charging. I might be able to do the next one really, really, really soon though. We're gonna try, all right? Because I would love, absolutely love to get my cardio all done fasted. How cool would that be today? And to just work. So, all right, guys. I'm home. Love you guys.